Whoa!
God.
You gonna let him slip and slide around?
Don't worry, something is coming to you.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Give me a baseball bat.
Metal or wooden?
Metal.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV.
We're back.
We've been doing a bunch of podcasts lately because the
have.
content has just been incredible in Serie A. We just watched Inter. My man Pete, you came in with a little smile. We can't see the smile underneath. You had a little smile when you walked in after.
More than a little smile.
It was pretty big.
The
Right?
first half,
smile.
I didn't have a smile at all. So
Oh, yeah.
I was smiling. I was smiling my ass off, man. I'm telling you. I said, oh, please, let's even keep it as a tie. And then I went back to on a stupid meeting. I came back, and then 10 minutes later, I said 2-1. I said, can that be? Let me just reset my phone.
But we pretty much expected. I mean, I didn't think that they were not going to be able to come back.
They scored 2 goals in like a couple of minutes, so it was
5 minutes.
2 goal. I think was it 5 minutes?
They said 3 minutes.
I thought it was
within,
3.
yeah, maybe within 3 minutes. But I'm
okay.
saying the first 5 minutes of the
Your
second
boy
half.
Lautaro finally got a goal.
Yeah.
He needed that,
Yeah,
right?
Did you see the relief on his face when he was celebrating?
Sanchez played another great game up there.
I was going crazy when I saw the lineups. I could not believe that Eriksen was not starting. It mind boggled me. Like I could not comprehend how he was starting on the bench.
How many years does he have on his contract, Eriksen?
And Borja Valero, yeah, you're right. And Borja Valero.
Valero.
What the hell was that
Get
about?
rid of that garbage, man.
The first half, everybody was losing their minds a little bit. The Inter fans online were going crazy. Handanovic, that mistake.
The Inter fans. What are the Inter fans? It's empty stadium.
Online.
Online. Oh, boy.
thought you were
Online.
making
So you follow the Inter fans online too?
We're IFTV. We follow everybody. The Handanovic, that mistake.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't
Show me,
expect that.
very
I
uncharacteristic.
didn't see it.
Wait, so you didn't see it, but you said on the you said on the story that we just recorded that Antonio Donnarumma was better than Handanovic.
Yeah, but I
And
mean...
you didn't even see the mistake that he made? Antonio's gonna lose his mind when he watches us.
Oh, my God. What an idiot. What an idiot. He brought the ball and he put it on the foot
It was
of
an accident. It happens to everyone.
accident.
Of course, he did it on purpose.
I would have shot him.
What'd you make of?
It happens to the best of us.
I've never. I mean, it's not like a.
Yeah, it's not
normal mistake.
Handanovic like
It's
at
not-
all.
yeah. Well, Handanovic has
Handanovic.
always had a history of making these mistakes every once in a while. And like even Buffon has had his fair share of mistakes. Goalkeepers, it's one of those positions where you're crucified for making a mistake, where everybody
This
else
is a
can make
different
1,000
kind
type
of
of
mistake, though.
mistakes. Yeah, this is definitely different.
That was
I
like
think
out.
this one shows
Everybody's playing nervous.
exactly what state the Inter players are in. And Handanovic never makes these type of boneheaded
that's
mistakes.
crazy.
Like that's a real boneheaded
crazy.
mistake. Last week, or rather, the last game versus Verona, you're not covering your first post.
Yeah,
Even after this mistake, there was a couple of shaky moments. If you saw on the Torino cross,
There was one
Handanovic didn't know to come out, didn't come out.
Ansaldi.
Then even in the second half, when Inter went up 2-1, there was a chance for Torino to score, and Handanovic just literally came out like this, made the save, but it still looked unorthodox.
It looked like lack of
It didn't
communication
look-
with the defense.
Yeah, and then
too.
also there was a time De Vrij is shouting for Handanovic to pick up the ball, and Handanovic didn't want to leave his
I don't want it
line.
There was
anymore.
one where
So,
Ansaldi
and they had
took
like a little back.
Ansaldi took a shot,
and
and
forth.
I thought it slipped in.
Yeah,
under
yeah,
his arm or
his
something.
arm.
I thought it
Yeah,
was about to
we
go
we
in. Yeah.
both thought it was in.
His mind was like,
Yeah,
was
you
a mess.
you can tell, and it's weird too because
I want to see
he's, he should be
Conte's face when they got that
should
goal.
be a leader on this team, and it's just weird. It's mind-boggling. But in the end, Inter came out, and a lot of people. I was talking to my friend Vinny. He's a big Inter fan also, and he goes
Vinny Russo?
yeah.
I
And
know.
he goes
Those two names go together.
because he's been from the beginning, at least. I gotta say, he doesn't change his stance, but from the beginning, he was not a Conte fan. He sounds more like you, Antonio.
Do I know Vinny Russo?
You might know him, yeah. You might know him.
Okay.
But he's been saying, "Oh, Conte, this problem, that problem."
I know him. I know
yeah,
him.
but I said,
The
listen.
Conte haters, they meet up. You guys
Yeah.
got your own group chat.
But in the end, right? Conte is not the one making these mistakes. Inter's gotten so many costly errors that the other team scores on. And it's not Conte that's out there playing. It's not Conte that's telling the player what to do exactly on the pitch. He can only give out the blueprints, and everybody's got to follow him.
That's fair.
You know?
But
And-
he's also playing the guys that made some mistakes.
Yes, he is. But it also comes out of necessity as well. But besides that, you see a response. You see a reaction. Even versus Hellas Verona, you see Inter come
You
back
call
and
that
try
a
to
game?
win. You see versus Torino, they come back and they score goals. You see them move. Even in the first half today, I mean, Inter dominated. They didn't deserve to be one.
Dominated. You should be ashamed of yourself.
How are we ashamed?
Against
We won
Torino.
3-1.
Torino is almost on Serie B. You judge with dominated. Dominated against who? Dead bodies.
All right.
It's
but
like you're playing
that's
against
the
a
point.
cemetery.
Inter's supposed to do that.
It's like you're playing against Green Lawn over here. Right?
Don't use Masucci's...
Green Lawn. Or what's the name of the other cemetery over there? Green Lawn or Calvary?
We get the
Yeah.
we get
You're playing against dead bodies, ghosts. Dead ghosts. They're done, those guys. Bellotti. Bellotti scored again. Scored again what? He puts the ball on his foot and then thank you.
No one
Handanovic.
said anything about scoring again. You're the only one that mentioned it right now.
But I'm saying by you said, dominated against what? I understand dominated against Milan, Juventus, another thing. You're talking about Torino. It's a Serie B team.
Okay, but that's Inter's
Dominate.
job. Inter's supposed to dominate against
he's
Torino.
supposed to dominate.
no. They got the job
They're
done. They
supposed
did
to.
what they're supposed to do.
Like Milan's supposed to dominate against Spal.
wow, you see what he did there? Because you guys didn't. Get it?
And they're in Serie B.
Whoa!
God.
I'm gonna let him slip and slide around.
Don't worry, something is coming to you.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Give me a baseball bat.
Metal or wooden?
Metal.
Yeah, during the live stream, we were busting Antonio's
my
chops the
God.
entire time.
I can
During
imagine.
the Milan live stream, we had a lot of fun on it. I stole his little thing. Every time Butter Ass kept making those mistakes, I just get to ask me who Butter Ass is.
Who's Butterface?
Gigio Donnarumma.
Oh, it's better than Butterface. You know what Butterface?
No. Who is it?
You gonna explain this to him?
You gotta explain it, Mike.
I'm not gonna
You're
explain
better
it.
to
I'm
explain
not
it.
ex-
Come
I'm not
on.
explaining that.
Explain it.
That's a weird thing to say.
No, it's not a real
Weird.
thing.
You already said it, bro. You gotta say it.
They usually call a girl butter face if she looks good except her face. Like she has a nice body, but her face.
Oh, they call it butter.
Butter face, yeah.
I don't get it.
Because
I don't think anybody gets
because
it.
she's got a lot of makeup.
No,
she
it's
looks
not
good.
butter.
I don't think
She looks
anybody
butter.
good,
Her.
but her face.
Oh,
Like-
butter.
Oh
face.
shit! I never
It's a
thought.
play on
I
words.
didn't know that.
You
Oh,
didn't?
She
No,
looks
I never.
good, but
Why do you think it was called that
I
then?
never really said that.
Is that butt?
This you
Her
gotta
face?
put this on the
Butter
Spotify.
face. She looks
thing.
good, butter face.
Butter face.
Yeah, so they say butter face.
You gotta put this on the what?
Why do you have
This
to
is like a separate. This
Nice.
is from
bloopers, right?
Do you think Inter need a new goalkeeper for next season?
Oh, for next season, come on, no, not for next season. I think
For
we
Padilli,
need-
no? A second keeper.
yeah, but I think your question is more on
and then,
Handanovic.
yeah, and then put Handanovic
Yeah,
as a
well-
second, or like Szczesny Buffon, like they
Well,
switch.
yeah, what I would say is Handanovic still needs to be the number one next year, and but at the same time you got to get a
But.
goalkeeper.
Butt
That's-
again. A lot of butts here.
But
Okay. So Handanovic
But we
goes
have
to the bench.
No, I said next year Handanovic is still number one, but he's 36. You got to get a goalkeeper that you don't have a problem if Handanovic gets hurt.
Can transition into
Oh,
that next.
if he gets hurt.
If he gets hurt, and then also is the next guy to take his
Take-
Who
place.
would you take, Pete? Let me see who are your top
I would
picks.
take Donnarumma. I would take.
Antonio Donnarumma.
Antonio Donnarumma. Yeah. We'll give it to you.
Merit. Merit's got no place. Then let him become the number one at Inter.
What do you
think
mean?
Merit's
Med's gonna be the
gonna
number
be
one at Napoli.
I don't know. Ospina keeps
Oh,
playing.
Spina's older. Med's gonna be
keeps
the
playing
future.
Anyway, let's continue
Any
with.
Greek goalkeeper that is good?
Caranesius.
Caranesius?
Does he even get called up for the games?
He doesn't
He
get
just
called up
carries
to
the
the
water
national
around.
team, bro.
What is he? What does he play with?
Napoli.
Oh, sorry. So he's the third goalkeeper.
He's the third
Oh,
goalkeeper,
my
yeah.
God.
He basically cleans
He
his shoes.
takes turns making
gets the
coffee with
vitamins
Tommaso.
around.
The water boy. He's the water boy, probably, right?
Coffee maker.
Coffee maker.
Yeah, he gets paid extra.
He's in Napoli, it's
$1,000.
coffee.
That's why you're learning to make coffee, right? You learn it from him.
What night?
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
man, there we go. That was funny. So Inter ended up turning it around.
3 goals, 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, 3 goals in about
13.
10 minutes. There was the fans outside the stadium. Did you see the sign that they put? The Inter fans outside the stadium. They wrote something like, "We understand your excuses, but now it's time to show your balls. It's time to show your courage." Did you make anything about that?
No, I mean, listen. I think the Curva Nord, for the past 10 years, they've seen a lot of struggle, right? You can say that at the very least. And obviously, in this point of the season, it's time that we kind of given up on the Serie A or Scudetto hope,
Right,
right?
second place.
But we need to solidify our place as second place. And I didn't know, but today I just heard on one of the commentators said the difference between second place and fourth place is $10 million
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I
For
never
TV
heard
rights,
that.
for
TV
TV rights. So
I
this
heard
is
on the radio.
so this gives you an extra incentive to finish second.
That's a
besides
lot
just the
of
Champions
money.
League. That's a decent amount of money.
But what does third get then? Did he say?
No,
You're
it
not
didn't
sure.
show the breakdown. It
Probably
just said the
something
difference is in
but,
between. Yeah.
if you are fourth place,
didn't know that.
If you are fourth, you're giving up on $10 million. If you're second, you get.
Is this
Wait, how do
new?
you
It's
know?
been
You
like
don't
this.
give up on it. You get
No,
$10 million
You get
more.
Yeah.
Second place gets $10 million more.
yeah.
It's a market share.
Plus TV
TV
rights.
rights.
I got you.
TV rights.
I got you.
Huh.
So,
Wow, I didn't know that.
so there is an incentive there. I think also just to be able to calm, because like even I'm in an Inter chat, right? And
I can
I'm
only
in
these
a-
imagine
guys,
how that
yeah,
goes.
Mike's in it, and these guys, showing his true colors over
There
there.
we go.
I'm a fan of multiple teams.
All right, what other teams are you in group chats with?
Roma.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we got a Juve one.
You have the Juve. You're in a
Yeah,
group
I'm in a
chat?
few, yeah,
Let's-
yeah.
Let me see it.
I'm not gonna take it out now.
Why not?
So, no, I'll show you
See?
after.
Flipper, you can
I'll
flip
show-
in a dime.
Why is it flipper? I
It
appreciate every
camouflages.
team.
Yeah, you appreciate
I'm
everything.
Serie B
You
teams
appreciate
also.
every team that wins.
Look how easy it is. You can have a shit game. As long as you win, fans are
Mike
happy,
is in.
Yeah.
right? I mean,
I'll
so
be the
like
first one there.
Inter, all the struggles, all of a sudden now, Inter wins versus Torino. Yeah, we're in second place.
If you
Everything
guys-
else kind of
Big,
like
big,
blew
If you
big,
over.
guys
Big,
lost,
big,
if you guys
big.
lost,
Yeah.
oh my
Let
God.
me just see if I can find the right one for you.
That's a laughing. That's a laughing.
Is that Milan in fifth, sixth place? What is
Let
that?
me just say something to you.
They're in
Pete.
seventh, actually.
Seventh
Get it
place.
right.
First of all,
Lucky number 7.
you are being there by default, not because you deserve to be on second place right now, and you are tied with Lazio because of virtue of the you know that you were
Goal
the
differential.
okay.
Both 68
So-
points.
So don't get yourself over.
He's already counting the 10 million. You see this?
Juventus is losing you know steams. Lazio totally disappeared, and you by default you find yourself on the third place.
So why is it that those two teams can lose out their steam and fall, and Inter?
It's not no. Wait a moment.
He's thinking. He's trying to think of something.
It's not that you deserve to be in second place. It's
Okay.
by virtue of those two losers.
But why are those two losers afforded the chance to lose and Inter
doing
aren't?
their job?
Huh?
So you find yourself.
Why
on
are
the
those
second
Why
place.
are those two teams afforded to lose? It's okay for them to lose, but Inter, God forbid, they lose a game.
Well, after you spend the $280 million,
Who spent
you
that
should be
much
winning
money?
every
Nobody
game.
spent that much money.
You should be winning everything.
No one spent that much money.
Oh yeah.
We have
Alright.
proof and numbers that show that Inter didn't spend
We will
280
do
million.
the math. We will do
And
the
there's
math.
also proof that shows that Milan spent more over this last couple of
Okay.
years. And you guys haven't fared too well.
Peter's bringing his facts. He did his homework for this podcast.
He does tax. Yeah, it's my accountant. It's gonna be my accountant.
No, facts.
Oh, facts.
Yeah, facts.
All right, go ahead.
You haven't
But-
stumped on that
I
one.
was also enjoying the show. So.
No, I want to say also, going back to the Inter game. First, Torino is in shambles.
They are.
In shambles. There's no identity with the Torino team. Longo screaming the first half. I mean, they got the lead and they're winning 1-0, but Inter was in their half the whole time.
yeah.
Bellotti, hardworking guy, but he's lacking some support, and he's also way too deep, getting the ball and trying to make something happen. He's got to be up top finishing, and that's it. But you know, still got to appreciate his hunger. Sirigu, my God, that guy is amazing. The amount of saves he made this game. And, you know, it's actually through the years. He's been an unbelievable goalkeeper. He has the misfortune.
That could be your goalkeeper.
He's older now. But he has the misfortune of being behind Buffon
I'll take
and
him.
then the new up-and-coming Donnarumma. Because he definitely deserved a starting spot on
He's
on
been
that
getting called
Italy
up, but
national team.
yeah.
Yeah, but he's
Italian-
not the number one.
Now number one.
To be a goalkeeper for Italy is such a tough thing. The competition is just
Might as well change
ridiculous.
positions.
There's so many. I mean, you could have players that don't even get called up for Italy, like Golini. Imagine Golini if he was a different nationality. He could be playing on.
For sure.
Where is he from?
Most.
Italy.
Italian.
Are you
Golini.
sure? Golini.
What is it?
From
But
Atalanta.
Pierluigi
Imagine
Golini.
if Golini was a different nationality. That was just
Yeah, I'm saying that he's
He
so
would play.
good that he could be playing for
most national
for a lot of
teams.
national
Oh,
teams.
got
But
you.
because he's Italian and there's so many players above him.
I wouldn't go that far. It's not. I mean, he's got.
He's a young goalkeeper that's playing in Champions League.
It's okay. I mean,
Okay, whatever. There's
maybe it's the fourth, fifth goalkeeper, great goalkeeper in Italy, but it's not. as good as other goalkeeper that we have.
That's what you just said.
Yeah, that's
But-
what I was saying. Okay, it's
But
all right.
let's not talk about national team because national team, the number one is,
Body.
Butterfingers.
Butter?
No, he's talking from the keepers. You're talking about national team keepers, right?
Let's move on to next question. Next question.
Just trying to confuse you. Let's go to Napoli, Milan. 2-2, a match that we watched together. Antonio, you were sweating for.
I was not sweating.
You
Very
were
fortunate
sweating.
for
You got
Milan.
proof.
Very fortunate you got a point out of that, Ando. I must say.
Very fortunate.
Extremely. Yeah. Napoli
Gattuso
deserved
against
that.
his old team.
Listen, I watched some highlights on.
He's holding on to that tight.
I watched some highlights on the Gazzetta
Yeah.
this morning before I went to work, and that was a red card that should be given to Teo Hernandez when he came in and he got a yellow. There was one entrance that Teo
Yeah, he
Hernandez
had his
made.
foot high.
That was a straight red, and I see that's where I am just impartial. I mean, I would say if it's to AC Milan, I would say to anybody. Me, I'll call
That's
it the way it
debatable.
is, spade to spade.
Real
Okay?
debatable.
I
Okay.
don't cheat.
Okay.
So we're not cheating
You're
over
not
here
biased,
like
you're not biased.
somebody else, and I'm not gonna make names over here, okay? Okay, I have another two, three people that they're not very partial over here, and they say, let me not make name, Mike. You're number one.
2, 3.
You just,
Okay.
I thought you were going to keep my identity sealed.
Yeah, okay. So it is what it is. But that was a red card, which should have been a straight red. But nevertheless, we got a red anyway, a few minutes later, because Salemaker, which is a
Salad.
little rookie, he got caught himself with the second yellow, and that's it.
But
I
what do
wasn't.
I was gonna say, but what do you thought of the Milan? How did they
Well,
play? Be honest with
we
me.
didn't,
Did
we
they
didn't
deserve a
rub
point?
anything. We didn't rub anything to Napoli.
You think they deserve to get a
Yeah,
point out of that?
absolutely. Napoli didn't.
You're
deserve to
you're
win.
being
I
impartial
thought,
right now.
In the first half, I was actually really impressed with Napoli. I mean, sometimes Napoli this season under Gattuso, Gattuso. I love Gattuso, and I love the way he stabilized the team and he's gotten the unit together. And you could see how much of a team they are and the spirit that they have. But the football is sometimes negative, and it's not very attacking. It's not that same Napoli that we remember in the 4-3-3. But we saw that in the first half for Milan. I mean, Mertens was on his game. Donnarumma, I believe, he made a couple of saves in.
Sorry.
Donnarumma, I believe he made a couple of saves in the beginning. But Napoli were mostly dominating, and then the mistakes from Donnarumma really cost. And I know you say that those were not mistakes from Donnarumma, but I don't know how they weren't mistakes from Donnarumma.
Listen, I blame Romagnoli. This has been Romagnoli. It's been on a tier. It's just making mistake one after the other, but gigantic mistake. I understand once in a while.
If Buffon
but the
conceded
guy,
that goal, what would you have said?
if Buffon would that,
If Buffon conceded that exact same goal, the 2 goals, what would you have said?
well, Buffon, we know that he's been conceding those kind of goals for the rest of his.
But they're not his fault if it's those kind of goals, right?
I will say on the second goal, he could have done a little bit better, Donnarumma. But on the first one, he couldn't do anything.
You have any thoughts on that?
Couldn't do
Fair.
anything.
That was a fair result.
No.
No, I'm saying.
Oh.
Well, the first goal, I mean, it was like Mischia in area. You can't really
Four
do
people
much. Maybe you
jumping,
make
the
the save.
usual Romagnoli and everybody else trying to head it with the stuff. Then Donnarumma finds himself with the ball
Yeah.
almost on his hands. He rebounds. I mean, he bounds on his body and he goes to Mertens.
Yeah,
and the
because
guy-
it's
the guy
hard to
scores. Come on.
tell the trajectory of the
The
ball,
ball,
you know? Because you see everybody jumping, you get the ball right in front of you.
Oh, Di Lorenzo, what was that? Di Lorenzo.
Di Lorenzo
Yeah,
scored
right.
that. Okay, now let's talk about the penalty that Bonaventura won. I don't think it was a penalty.
Oh, really? That was
Maximovic got the
double
ball
penalty,
first.
not one penalty. That was a double
No,
penalty.
they didn't deserve
Bonaventura
that.
jumped on the guy.
They didn't deserve that.
No, go look at the VAR.
I did look it over. Maximovic
Where?
got the ball. It shouldn't be a penalty. And first, he dove like he got shot. That's first of all. Second of all,
So you say that Bonaventura did dive?
he got the
guy
ball.
doesn't even have to swim.
This guy
Mike.
felt like they made a two-footed challenge on him. That wasn't a penalty. I would never call that. The refereeing, like we were saying in past weeks, have been horrendous. And not
Gattuso did not
consistent.
complain. Nobody from Napoli
Doesn't matter.
complained.
You think Gattuso's going to complain against his the team that made him the player he
Gattuso
is?
is wearing the Napoli shirts now.
He wouldn't. He said after the match, like, I'm not going to comment on the penalty.
Thank
It's
you.
like- no, he said that out of respect to me.
But what about Manolas? What was it? Talking about Napoli.
He was.
He was what? Sitting on the bench?
Yeah, he was on the
Doing what?
bench.
Cleaning the...
Why are you changing the
seat?
subject now? You guys didn't deserve a penalty. Did you guys
He was
see
shining.
that?
He was shining the balls.
Shining the balls.
Did you guys see that? Was it a penalty? That wasn't a penalty.
He was using the butter for the balls.
He's coming back from injury. I'm sure he's going to start playing.
But he did already come back from injury.
Yeah, he
played
did.
the last game.
He played out one half.
He came-
Yeah.
yeah, so why
Maximovic
didn't
has
he
been in
start?
better form, so they probably don't want to start him yet.
Which is much better than Manolas. That's why.
Currently, yeah, for sure, 100%. I'm sure he's gonna start. getting
Milan,
back in.
there's actually, we posted this good stat. Milan got 10 points out of their matches against Roma, Lazio, Juve, and Napoli. 2-0 win over Roma, 3-0 over Lazio, 4-2 over Juve, and then 2-2 to Napoli, which is what?
Given to them.
Why are you shaking your...
I'm saying that this one was given to them. That's why.
All right, we'll take it, Mike.
I'm just saying, the Napoli deserved that one. Napoli.
I'm
saying Napoli deserved that.
I'm reading the first comment that's underneath, the most liked comment on our post. It's from Luca Garitano, and he says, please keep Pioli for next year. Feels like the narrative more and more. And even, you know who said something? Fabio Capello. He said it makes no sense to get rid of Pioli. He said that he brought a character and identity. He said getting RANGNICK is like going back. You're starting at year 0 once again. That's what.
Well, technically, starting at year 0 is sort of not true, but because you're not starting from scratch, taking all the AC Milan players, and you just eliminate what you have over there, and you're starting to bring everyone brand new into the team.
Well, it's a brand new coaching philosophy, so it is kind of.
But.
Oh, he also said, and I like this. He said, give him a couple of signings, and the team can be competitive. Milan. Honestly, like if you think about 6 months ago, towards the beginning of the season, you didn't think that there was as much optimism, but a few players from Milan have really stepped up.
For sure.
Rebic, Theo Hernandez always has,
Zlatan.
Benacer, Kessié, like young guys that could be the core of Milan for the future that are really starting to step up. And it's made a difference. So maybe he's right with a couple of different guys, a center back, a right full back, because Conte, I don't know
he's not
what the hell
good.
was
Or
wrong with
Calabria.
Conte. And somebody up top. You know, maybe you guys, and even Leao, like, you know, you guys could actually do something. And you have a Pioli who's stable, who's giving you guys some kind of firm results.
Okay, first of all, Pioli's not on the
move on.
pitch. Pioli's not on the pitch. He's doing this 4-2-3-1 because he seems to be working for AC Milan right now, because the midfielder, as soon as they lose the ball, they kind of it becomes a 4-5-1 team when they're defending. Do you understand what I'm saying? In other words, all the three forwards,
They drop.
the midfielders, they drop back. But and that covers a lot more the defense. But with the 4-3-3 that he tried before, nothing was working. So now when he switched with 4-2-3-1, the defensive game of AC Milan has improved, even though we have Romagnoli really giving goals away. Like, come on, guys, everybody's like party time.
It's like
you want a
Oprah.
goal here, you got it. You want
You get a goal. You get a
You
goal.
know
He
Oprah?
gives coupon.
You know
Yeah.
Oprah? Where she's like, you get a car, you get a car.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get
that's
a
what I
car.
do. That's what Romagnoli said. Don't worry, I'll make a mistake for you. You got another one. He's like giving coupons. Okay, that's one for you. That's one for you. So
They're
come
still
on.
getting
I don't
results,
agree, but
though.
also I want to remind everybody. I didn't say it in the beginning of the episode. We have Q&A, extended audio Q&A at the end. Wherever you listen to podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, wherever you do, there's a link in the description. At the end, we'll be answering all of your questions that were sent in from Twitter. Extended. I just wanted to remind everybody. Let's move on. Let's go.
Wait, before you finish, Romagnoli has given 4 points up on AC Milan.
By himself. It's just Romagnoli.
Technically, yes.
It's not Kaiser. It's not the guy next to him. It's not Conte.
Romagnoli.
It's not Donnarumma. It's only Romagnoli.
Romagnoli. Okay, 2 against the Spal. Listen to me.
I'll let you finish.
2 against Spal and 2 against Napoli. One of the Napoli's goal, the first one, is 100% his fault. It's always off time. It's not timing the jump when he's going to have to head the ball. He got himself jumped up. Even one of the goal with Juventus, that was his fault 100%. Ronaldo's goal, it's 100% his
Kaiser
fault.
was there too.
No,
Though. He jumped up also.
but Kaiser got thrown off the timing because of Romagnoli.
Come on, you're
And the
putting too
guy
much.
probably said, I got it, it's
You're putting too
mine.
much
And then
blame on him.
Kaiser, whatever, he didn't jump high enough because what's behind, it was supposed to be his ball.
Romagnoli is a young player who's barely had any center back partner that's capable at Milan since joining Milan.
Not having a partner is not an excuse for screwing up.
Of course it is.
No, it's not.
Of course it is.
Listen.
He's had Zapata next to him. He had Musacchio. He's had Bonucci. He's had other players that I can't even
He's
remember.
wearing the fascia of a captain. He should be the leader of the defense. But I don't think that guy's a leader. I don't think he deserves the captainship band on his heart.
Let's go to
Give it to Bonaventura until if he
He doesn't even
lasts.
start.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather him to have the captain band on the bench and not give it to Romagnoli.
Why not Donnarumma?
Donnarumma, definitely. Oh, definitely.
Juventus somehow scraped the draw against Atalanta. They were the two top teams in Italy at one point. Atalanta absolutely playing the best football in Italy. And the thing that makes me so happy is when I get messages from people that don't watch Serie A who are like, oh my God, this team Atalanta is incredible. They're the only team in Europe that's actually playing good football since the break. And take it. You always think, like, we're constantly waiting almost for Atalanta to dip. And we could be like, all right, makes sense. Like, they've gone on a really good run. You're playing Juventus. Like, okay, you weren't to be able to keep it up. But they somehow maintain this level, this extreme level of concentration and top-class football, no matter who steps in. Gosens comes out. Castagne comes in and did a great job, in my opinion. So that, have these interchangeable guys is incredible. They were up in this match, and they were so unlucky to get a tie from this. Atalanta deserved to beat Juventus in Torino
100%.
For the way that they played. Now, of course, we go back to the controversy of the handball rule, where Juventus got 2 penalty kicks from handballs. Ronaldo converted both of them. But according to the rules, like we've always had a problem with, this is called a handball. Every single match this season, anytime it puts the hand there, they give it. They tried to, get rid of the gray area. So they said, okay, anytime it hits the hand, no matter what, boom, give a penalty kick. And that's what we see. And I don't agree with the rule, or like Gasperini said. Gasperini, after the match, said, it is a penalty kick according to the rules. He said, don't blame the rule, blame the interpretation of the rule. And he said, in Italy, we have a poor interpretation of the rule that needs to be discussed and changed. For example, in other leagues, if it just hits your arm, it's not automatically a penalty kick.
Which league are you talking about?
In leagues
Premier
all around
League.
the world, Spain, England, nobody gives handballs for what we give in Italy.
They do not usually give, but they do give penalties.
Not the same extent.
But you're trying to say that it's different, the rules are different?
Yes.
The interpretation of the
Application.
rule.
Of course,
The
it's always
interpretation of the rule is different.
But
It
that's
is
like in
different.
England when there's a foul. In Italy, we get fouls all the time, and in England, a lot of those
They
fouls
don't,
wouldn't
they
even
don't call
exist.
those. Yeah.
But before we go on, they were both penalty kicks according to the rules. According to the
According to the
rules,
rule
they are
book.
penalty kicks.
Yeah.
Whether we agree or whether we disagree, these have been called every single match this year. The one thing we asked for referees, we've said this last year, we complained. We said we need consistency. Now they're giving us consistency, and we just don't like the calls because I don't agree with them. In my opinion, for the way I see football, if Juve are going the opposite way of goal and it hits Luis Muriel's hand that the ball's going outside the box, the goal is that way, how the hell do you give a penalty kick?
Unintentionally, because if Muriel does like that,
Either way,
and puts his
either way.
hands-
But either way,
No, then the rules
it's-
that gets
in my opinion, those should not be penalty kicks. With the way that the rule has been this year, they are given, but that is not, in my opinion, how the rules can be. And the more we keep these stupid rules in football, the more soft we make it, the more we are ruining the sport. And I truly hate the way that we're going, the direction that we're going in.
It's
Too
true.
many penalty kicks. It's ridiculous how many we call.
Marco, even on the first one, the Juventus penalty, the guy's turning himself just to block the
I know.
Derun had it pretty
Black
tight to him.
Like
but they gave
Gasperini
him.
said, "Oh, cut their arms off. We gotta cut everybody's arms off.
I know.
If we want to call those,
It's way
now we
too
have to cut
hard.
everybody's
Then-
arms off.
then now, excuse me, Mike. Now there is another add-on to this. What's part of the body? What's part of the arm?
shoulder, the
They are
arm.
saying that this part here, it's not a handball if it hits you right here, because this is part of the shoulder.
Where is
That's
this?
what they say.
Where?
Is this right here? Right here, they said this is even this is part of your arm, but when it hits you right here on the T, let's say this is a T.
If
it
it's
hits you
not,
right here.
if it's not intentional, you're saying.
No,
No
they
matter
don't
what.
call it handball, because many times, many people, they call it handball when somebody does just goes to the ball like this and they hits them right here. It's a handball according to them because of the
those
motion
are not
that they have.
handballs, in my
And now I was reading this thing here maybe a couple of days ago. And they
The
said
rules
that-
are horrible. The
Yeah.
rules are
So
very
everybody
disappointing.
Everybody's being thrown out. Depends
annoying.
which jerk you get over there on the field. You were wearing the
No,
yellow
I
jersey.
don't, I don't agree with that because they've been giving these all season. They've like if you check week back every week, they're consistently calling these. So we can't say that it's one referee and the other. They've been calling.
I think they
these.
gotta base it more of logic, like how Marco was saying, and like how the ball was going out. How are you gonna give it for that? I understand if he's shooting and he had his hand extended. Even Derun, his arm was pretty tucked to his body for the most part, and you're gonna give that. I thought that was extremely hard.
He's not making himself.
Exactly. He's
ends up hitting him right in the
he's bringing
shoulder.
his arms closer. It's not like he's reaching out.
But again,
So
you're
that's a
disagreeing with the
completely different thing.
interpretation of
Yeah,
how
yeah.
the rules should
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
which I think for most people, we have to agree with this because it's disappointing to see some matches the way that they end. And for Juventus, it's embarrassing the way that they need to win some of these games. The match from Juventus was a complete embarrassment to get dominated in the manner that they do, in the manner that they are.
Listen, Atalanta, not for nothing, have dominated
Almost
versus every team.
Okay, but
The
for
only
Juventus,
thing is, yeah, okay. For
I would
Juventus,
say all of the big games, Atalanta
yeah,
dominated.
well, that's what I'm saying.
There
I'm
is
sure we
not
can find.
one
I'm sure
game-
there might have been in the beginning.
It would have been. It would have been great. The only thing is, like I said, whatever the penalties were given by rule. It's a penalty. It's just another time that Juventus, they're lucky as a team. They're a lucky team.
That's what they do.
They're able to win and break it out. And listen, sometimes
Winners put themselves
when
in
you
a
have
place to
but
get lucky.
the thing is, you also have when you have star players, right? You can be playing terribly, like we've seen Juventus this whole year, and you get one moment of brilliance. Dybala scores and whatnot.
Sure, yeah.
So. Listen, that's part of why you need those big time players. It's important that you have those guys that can change the game.
Wow.
But besides that, it would have been great. I was picturing this in my head with the time going down, right? Because we were all arguing, oh, Inter have to versus Atalanta the last game. And imagine Inter's in the race to win the Scudetto and they have Atalanta. I was now flipping it around. I was saying, wow.
You're the flipper.
No, I was going to say how great would it have been if Atalanta needs to beat Inter the last day to win the Scudetto. And you don't think Inter would lay down?
Knowing you guys, I don't know. But,
Why? Milan wouldn't have laid down.
No, it's in Milan. It's a team of high. We have high honors, and we just play the game. No, we never cheat.
That's why you went down calcio scommesse 2
This
times.
is why. That's
Serie B,
why. No,
Milan.
no, because
Paolo
we're not
Rossi
cheating.
was with Milan.
You guys
Calcio
know to
scommesse.
cheat, and you know how to not to
Calcio
get caught.
scommesse. You got
You
sent
guys
down.
are just good and not to get caught.
You guys sent down
and you
twice.
did steal a campionato from those guys that are a bunch of losers. Yes, you did. You should give it back. Okay?
Give it
Like
back.
a freaking highway robbery.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
How about 1998?
That's a highway robbery.
Guys, you guys are going.
That's highway robbery.
I do agree with Peter, and I had said before the game that I would be happy if Atalanta won because they would have went into second place, only 6 points behind the Scudetto, only 6 points from first place, which would mean a Scudetto, and it would have been a great ending to the match, and they deserved it. Like they legitimately deserved to win the match. Yeah. So I did feel for them a lot, and I could feel how they would be so hard done. But again, even Muriel, who came in, he did help. Make it different. Didn't he set up? He set up the goal for Malinowski.
Yeah,
Those substitutions.
Malinowski, what a rocket.
To put them on the bench is just such an added value for the team that I love Atalanta and I love what they stand for. And they're incredible. Also, have to say that Ronaldo, 28 goals in the league, and I believe 28 matches.
How many penalties? 14?
11 penalties.
Oh,
Same
wow.
as Ciro Immobile. Why is there this thing about
Great
penalties?
job, Ronaldo. I can score as many penalties. Actually, more penalty than you.
Anto, why don't you ask Trezeguet how hard it is to score a penalty?
Trezeguet. What is it, Trezeguet? What the hell is going on with Trezeguet?
In 2006,
Cup.
he missed the penalty that lost France a World Cup.
Good.
Tell him how easy
Thank
it is.
God. So listen.
Italy lost.
If
Ask
you are,
Roberto Baggio. He
if
missed
you
the
are
penalty.
Cristiano Ronaldo, you're getting paid that kind of money. There is no way that you'll be missing.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Nobody talk. Baggio. What about Baggio in the final of the World Cup?
But Baggio is not getting paid the money that Ronaldo is getting paid.
God.
Money talks.
Maybe
Bullshit walks. Money talks.
Number one,
You're getting paid all that money. You're gonna score.
It's a
one
national
second.
team. That's Judy.
Number one, the times are different. The money difference is extreme. And number two, maybe did you think that maybe he makes that much money because he scores all these goals and he's able to stay calm in these important games?
Listen, let me just say something to you, okay? You're just making a lot of BS over here. Let me just say
I don't know
something
why
to you.
we use penalties like
Wait.
there's some
Yeah, like
kind of
that. Yeah,
thing.
I know.
Oh my god, you scored
Wait.
a penalty
Yeah, I
kick.
know.
You
Wait.
should have missed the penalty.
Wait.
You should have missed it.
Wait.
You should be ashamed that you scored your
Wait a
penalty
moment.
kick.
Wait a moment. Listen to me. Why somebody else other than why doesn't somebody else other than Ronaldo
Because they're
steps
not
up?
as good.
Wait, let me
to
finish.
take the
He scored
penalty.
all his
Why
penalties.
doesn't anybody else other than Ronaldo steps up to the penalty?
He scored
box and
every
said,
single
okay,
penalty.
Let
Okay,
me take
I
one.
got you.
Dybala will be taking a lot of penalties instead of Ronaldo. You have actually another guy. Quadrato is a much better penalty
Okay, I
taker
got
than
you.
Ronaldo.
One second. Real quick. Let's say you're building a house,
Yeah.
right? You and your team are building a house. You build houses for a living.
Yeah.
Let's say you got one guy who's really great at laying the bricks down, would you say, you know what? How about you don't do it? And the guy that never laid bricks before, why don't you go lay the bricks?
That's not a good. That's not a good comparison. That's
Why is it
BS.
not? Why is it not?
First of all,
Everybody has their strengths. Why wouldn't you use them to the best of their ability? Because you're a team and you want to win and you want to make the house the best.
I got the answer for you. Okay, you are paying this guy here just to be the franchise player, quote unquote, and to sell shirts. So the more score this guy, scores, penalty or no penalty, the more shirts you're gonna wind up selling.
Yep.
Plus the top idiots that you have over there, Agnelli and the lapdog over there, they said it from the very beginning. It doesn't matter, good or bad. Let him take the penalty because
He's the best penalty taker.
No, it's not the
Europe.
best penalty taker. It's the guy that we paid the most. We got him over
He
here
took
to do
11
that.
penalties in Serie A. He scored 11. That's 100% record.
Listen to
in
me.
Serie A.
You're not listening. You're not listening. You just have to learn how to listen once in a while.
Say.
So the bottom line is that this is more of a franchise attitude than Ronaldo being better than somebody else of taking the penalty. Okay? I got another 4 or 5 players in Juventus that can take the penalty just as well or better than Ronaldo.
Okay.
And you know that.
Okay.
You know that, right?
Since December 1st, he's had a goal or assist in every single match that he's played, every single Serie A match since December 1st. And, he caught up to Immobile in incredible fashion. There was a stat, after 14 matches, Immobile had 17 goals. After 14 games. Ronaldo, after 14 games, only had 6 goals, so 11 less. Now, at this point, Ronaldo's at 28 and Immobile is at 29. So there's only a 1 goal difference.
So you just proved my point right
What?
now. All your point that you're trying to make is that you wanted to win the race for the capocannoniere.
I'm not making any point. I'm
Yes,
just
you
stating
are.
what
No,
the fact
no,
is.
you are trying to just state exactly what I was trying to tell you.
not the top goal scorer.
For Juventus to have a top goal scorer at the end of the Serie A, it's very important. So that's why, good or bad, he's going to have to take the penalty.
And let me explain
because
why.
he's trying on the race to outdo Immobile. And hands down, there is no other excuse for that. Am I right or wrong, Pete?
But it doesn't change anything.
It does. It does.
The thing is,
why does
It's
it
prestige, selling shirts and bragging rights and all that stuff.
But he
It does.
scored it. Listen.
Okay.
they've scored the same amount of penalty kicks, Immobile and Ronaldo.
Doesn't
Immobile
matter.
missed
But
one
Immobile
too.
doesn't make the money that Ronaldo makes.
Because Immobile, what has Immobile ever done in his career?
He has done plenty
What
of
has he
good
done?
stuff.
What has he won? Has he won 5 Champions Leagues? Has he played in 5 Champions
You're
Leagues?
talking like a 5 years old. I'm surprised that you were.
I'm not. I'm
First
stating
of
the
all-
facts, and you haven't hit back
First
with
of all,
one fact.
was Immobile surrounded with Benzema, with Carlos Alberto,
But Ronaldo's
with,
at Sporting.
Carlos Alberto.
with all of
Ronaldo's
those
at
top players
Sporting.
of Real Madrid and Manchester United, you name it. Cristiano Ronaldo surrounded himself with nothing but the best player in the world. Okay, you Immobile, who did he play with?
He grew up in Juventus' youth system, and he wasn't good enough to get to the next level.
Then he went to Borussia, he went here, he went there.
Why was he playing for Borussia?
What was he playing? Because Borussia saw that he was a very prolific scorer, so let me take
Exactly.
this guy here over there. And
Exactly.
then the guy couldn't speak German, he couldn't be understood over there. He said, you know what?
So he
screw-
couldn't speak German. That's why he's not as good as Ronaldo.
All right, you know what? Listen. Here's the bottom line.
gonna fight
Here's
over
the
the
bottom
bottom
line. You are defending somebody. I'm not saying that Ronaldo is not a great player, but I'm saying Ronaldo is not the only one capable to score penalties.
But I'm
on Juventus.
I'm not disagreeing that they're not capable. I'm saying that he's the best on Juventus to score the penalty kicks. So if you need to win and you need to put your best opportunity to win, you would choose the guy that has the best conversion rate. It's just the fact. It's just the numbers. He has 100% conversion rate in the league. Why would you stop? Why
He
would you
didn't
put
score against Donnarumma.
in the league in Serie A? In Coppa Italia, he missed 1. I'm saying in the league, he hasn't missed 1 penalty kick. Why would you not keep playing that guy?
He's been always taking all the penalties.
Pete, I'm
even
surprised.
at
I'm
Real
surprised you
Madrid
make
and
me fight
Manchester
by
United.
myself with those guys. Pete, say something.
I'm actually lost in the argument.
Oh,
I
yeah?
don't- What is the argument for?
No, the argument is that
He's saying somebody
Ronaldo.
else should take the penalty kicks
Yeah,
besides
But
Ronaldo.
what's the difference?
It does makes a big difference. Dybala deserves just as much as Ronaldo to
but
take the
if-
penalty
if-
and increase
Yeah,
his number of goals.
if
on the
Dybala
standing.
if Dybala was the rigorista, right, was the penalty kick taker, he probably would reach the same number, right? How many goals did Dybala have?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
check.
see. That's a good
No, but-
point.
no, but
See,
what I'm
thank
trying
you
to
for
say-
the help, Pete.
But what I'm trying to say is it doesn't
How
matter.
many
Once
goals
the
does
team,
Dybala has?
I'm checking.
But it's not like
And then we're gonna have the penalty that he took
But you know
Ronaldo.
what- But the thing is, I don't
Answer
care.
my question,
I don't,
please.
I don't
Doesn't
care if
change anything.
Pinzolio has scored all 11 penalty
Answer
kicks.
my question. How
What's
many
your
goals does
question?
Dybala
I'm
has?
checking. I'm checking.
I'll do the math for you.
Dybala, he's got 11.
11
So
and
22.
what? And 14?
22. So it would have been 22.
11.
He
22.
still would've- yeah.
Okay, so
So
How many does Ronaldo have?
He has 28 right now.
Okay, 28. Big deal.
Okay.
I
still don't. I don't understand the.
Yeah,
the
that's-
talk.
I
I don't
mean,
understand
I
why.
thought he's just
I
doing
don't-
good. They're giving
But
him
the thing
penalties.
is,
That's
who
it.
cares? Who cares if Ronaldo or Dybala scores it? Who cares?
Yeah.
You do. I don't.
I don't care.
You keep
You
saying
don't,
Ronaldo.
but you're the one who's arguing for
All
it.
right. Next question.
Was there anything else from this match that happened?
From Juventus,
No, right?
Atalanta.
Think we
I
pretty
just
much
want to say
covered
Papu
everything.
Gomez was amazing. I mean, that guy,
He's a baller.
for his
dude.
age, Ilicic also.
Ilicic, if he was healthy.
Zapata.
If-
Zapata.
Yo, that Zapata and that goal, how he
the leak.
out-muscled to get in that box and
Bro, when he
finish
did
it
hit
past
that leap,
Szczesny.
oh my god, I'm still in pain from watching that.
Oh, yeah, he stepped on. Oh, man.
On his balls.
Yeah.
That was I
was
felt
disaster.
really bad for
That
Deadly.
was
But he got up like a warrior.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
Zapata must weigh a ton. He's a tank, so that must have hurt.
Those
for
are two
sure.
bricks going at it. Those guys.
For real.
I think we'll move on. We'll go to the next. Lazio, right before that, lost to Sassuolo. Ciccio Caputo with a late winner. And Lazio, I mean, their season feels like it's just falling apart.
Dude, after this restart, they look like a Serie C team. Like they have no hunger.
It's gotta be mental,
They got no.
right?
It's got. That's the
gotta
only
be.
thing I'm thinking of.
Slightly physical too, because a lot of the players that we saw in the first before the virus were on fire, physically and mentally at every level. There was not one mistake. The fluidity of the game of Lazio was unbelievable. Yeah. Now, a lot of stuff that they look like they are misstepping. They are just starting on the wrong foot, and everything is falling apart except for Luis Alberto. A lot of players they're not really cranking, at the full cylinders.
We have to be fair, but all the teams besides Atalanta have had up and down
For
games.
sure.
And
And
we're talking
Milan.
from Juventus.
And
We're
Milan.
no, Milan
Since
too.
the restart, they've been doing
Spal,
pretty
they
good.
tied
Yeah,
2-2.
Spal.
There was only one game.
But I think the results are
okay,
the ones
the
that
result-
are going
okay,
bad
fine.
against them.
Yes,
Not just
no,
playing wise. Like
but-
Juventus have played bad, but they've still at least like
They've
caught
been able
something
to,
with
yeah,
them.
but they also lost to Milan after winning 2-0. So they've
Yeah.
had the bad
Yeah, they had
games,
one.
bad share,
That's true.
and they're able to win or get the tie or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that all these teams have had ups and downs coming back, and that's what we expected too. I mean, even we've been crucifying Inter because they tied to Sassuolo and they lost to Bologna, but every team has pretty much had the same type of string of results.
For the
I
most
mean,
part.
we said it also. Gagliardini scores 3-1. We're talking about another Inter right now, And then even when the first Coppa Italia game happened, everybody was like, "Wow, we're astonished." I think Inter was the best playing team, And then all of a sudden things changed, but this 3 months off has been such a challenge for all these teams. This is something that no one can say, "Oh, we've done this before, and this is how we best prepare for it." And then especially when you're playing every 3 days, the teams that have the bigger bench and the longer roster are going to be the teams that prevail. Juventus have the luxury to put Douglas Costa, to have Dybala on the bench, to do whatever you want to play with the squad. Whereas Lazio, unfortunately, okay, they might have 1 or 2 guys to go in, but besides that,
They can't be
or if
doing
one of
it
these
week
guys
in
have
and
a
week
bad
out.
day, they're not going to be able to play every 3 days. So, also I said it before, Lazio, the beginning of the season and before the COVID hit, they were probably playing better than ever,
Oh, for sure.
So they were running on all cylinders, as Antonio said, and they kind of hit reality. And then some late goals, things happen, and you're all of a sudden out of luck.
And I just want to add.
Are you going to say the stat?
Oh yeah, you want to say?
Say.
Oh, I was gonna say a stat. How Peter was saying.
Batman.
Yeah, stat man. I was gonna say before the stat how before the restart of the Serie A, before the stop, Lazio were playing amazing. Probably the best Serie A team for sure. Then they only lost 2 games in the 26 games they played. Only lost 2 after the restart. After everything came back, they lost 4 out of their 6 games.
Yeah.
4 out of their 6. That just shows like all the momentum they had and just dwindled down. And I'm sure it's a lot of factors.
The major shake-up, Mike, in the market of Lazio. Are they planning to sell? Are they Milinkovic-Savic? Is that some rumors on the market that some of the
We'll wait
players
until the end
are
of the
performing?
season.
It's still early, but I'm sure they're
That's the
gonna want to
rumors,
build
I'm saying. What
something.
are the rumors?
Right now, there's no rumors. Right
There's
now
not
that they're
much.
gonna
Look
sell
like
anyone.
Lautaro, except for today, has been playing like shit.
Yeah, but for Lazio, as of now, no one. There's no rumors for their big players to go.
I've been hearing that Savic is under the radar of Juventus.
I think all great players
yeah.
are always monitored
Savage
by
is a
top
great
teams,
player,
so it's not
but
a big
nothing-
surprise. Zaniolo, speaking about a guy that's always under the radar,
Yeah.
he you know, obviously he's back from his ACL tear. He scored for Roma in their 3-0 win against Brescia. Brescia, I mean, we already know that Brescia's
Going down.
Brescia's way. I mean, Brescia's even worse.
They're going to Serie B.
But Roma getting a 3-0 win, probably a win that they needed just to. I mean, you got to get your confidence up in somehow, in some manner. And to see Zaniolo score, it felt good. I was happy to see him come back, score a goal, help lead his Roma, get back into form because, you know, it's been a long time since his injury. Anybody got anything to add about Roma?
What about the future 7 midfielders that is going to
Tonali?
Inter?
Yeah, they're actually on hold a little bit. Milan is back in the race, big time. He grew up a Milan fan, so he would like a move to Milan. And the problem is that Brescia want 50 to 60. And all Inter, Juve, and Milan, they kind of understand that Brescia is going down, and they're like, "Listen,
They're playing smart.
You'll take whatever you're gonna get at this point." So I think that's really what they're trying to work out. I don't think any of the 3 clubs want to pay that 50 million, so they're gonna see how low it gets, and then whatever.
They're going to wait till they lose a few more games so he realizes.
To me, $30 million for him,
He would be incredible
Robbery,
in your midfield.
right?
What?
He would be incredible in your midfield.
But that's what I'm saying. If the guy grows up as like an AC Milan fan, what do you need? What do you need this guy here to come and play? No, for him. Oh, come on. Hey, with Barella, Sensi, Brozovic.
They need them. They're playing with Borja Valero and Gallardini
He'll
today.
definitely get more.
Gallardini.
Yo, but listen, at the same time, it could be a risk for Tonali. Look at a player like Eriksson, who's one of the best players in the world. That's
sitting on the
sat
bench.
on the bench.
He might be sitting on the bench.
It
That's
is
why
very scary.
He's got a better incentive to go and play. Let's say RANGNICK comes and sit on the AC Milan bench and says, "Hey, I want this guy here." Because, you know, the guy might take it like a challenge. Say, let me try to play with this German guy over here. Because you never know what...
It will probably be important to understand where he fits in the project. Where, you know, I wonder what that conversation was like with Eriksson, if Conte really wanted Eriksson or if he was just a signing from the club because it was a great opportunity.
Pete, what is your chance to sign Tonali? What do you think? Before it was locked down. It was almost a done deal. Now what's the percentage? No, seriously.
I don't know the percentage.
But you know because you work on the field.
Yeah, I'm saying they're favored, but at the same time, you know...
Favor? What do you say favor? What does that mean?
Because
favor?
they already have an agreement with Tonali.
Verbal agreement or writing?
Well, yeah, they're saying verbal.
There's an agreement with Tonali and his agents that this is the price that we will be giving you salary-wise.
How much?
And they're happy with it.
How
Hasn't been disclosed right now. And the only thing that they have to work out with is Brescia. Does it mean that he goes to Inter just because of that? No. It takes simple math to consider that Milan could say, okay, we're going to work up with the same salary as Inter.
But is Tonali still under contract with Brescia for the next year, or they work in the transfer now? Oh,
but he's not going to stay with them.
But he's not staying. They're going to Serie B. Brescia is going to sell. They made that option. The only thing that I wish happens is that he does end up staying in Serie A. Because all it takes is PSG to come in, swoop in, and say, okay, here's 45, 50 million that you wanted.
Watch for Juventus too. Juventus is on the run for the guy.
They want it, but they don't want to pay the money.
How much they pay, for example, Dybala, Juventus right now?
I don't remember.
Can Tonali play with Dybala, Marco? They're kind of overlapping themselves a little bit.
No,
different positions.
Well, listen, Dybala doesn't have a position.
He can play goalkeeper too.
He's a second striker, center forward.
False on wave. Dybala, it's
yeah,
like
but he doesn't play midfield.
You love Dybala, right?
I love Dybala.
There's another player that you love that scored this weekend. You want to guess who it is?
I don't know.
Cool.
Cutrone, oh boy, I love that.
He scored in the 96th minute to grab a tie for Hellas Verona.
See the mentality that guy has, and look at the way
goals and all.
And look at the way he moved in. That was the Hail Mary that they threw, and Cutrone
Hellas Verona fans were very annoyed because at first it was like 3 minutes of added time. They moved it to 5 minutes of added time.
They kept
and then
pushing
he scored the goal in like the 96th minute. So Verona fans were very annoyed that they said that the game should have been over, especially that they moved the clock back twice. And on the last one, they didn't even get moved to the 96th minute.
Very happy for my friend Joe Barone. Good signing, I told you, Joe.
Nice pass from Chiesa too.
Forza Fiorentina. Forget about Chiesa. Just let him go.
Also, another big comeback, which was ridiculous. Parma against Bologna. Bologna were up 2-0 in this match. 2-0. In the 16th minute, they were up 2-0. 93rd minute, Parma scored 1 goal, Kurtic. And in the 95th minute, Roberto Inglese scored to tie the game. Pretty incredible. Shows you that in Serie A, you got to watch the game until it's over
The
this
last
week. And you
second.
see, look, Cutrone, Parma, even until the very last
So
kick
Bologna
of the
was
match.
up to nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what scares me about this Parma is that they're going to be playing AC Milan. That's why I cannot really
really?
lay down. Yeah. The
Nice.
the next match is AC Milan against Parma.
Parma are tricky. They're always a
They
tricky
are
side.
very tricky. This is
Yeah.
not an easy team. But how did you guys do with the Parma?
We won.
You guys won. All right.
but we had a struggle.
Yeah, they're tough.
Parma's
you-
been good.
You have Parma, Sassuolo. Those are teams.
You know,
that,
Gervinho scares me. If he plays that guy's. Imagine
but-
with Romagnoli, he's gonna chew him alive.
Parma, Sassuolo. Those are teams that are very tricky and also not afraid to play the game. They're not going to be those teams that are going to just sit back and wait for you. They're going to bring it to you. And those are the two coaches, D'Aversa and Roberto De Zerbi, that a lot of people are talking about. De Zerbi
Those
has,
are the real young
has-
talents that we have in Italy. Now Conte.
has revolutionized this Sassuolo team, playing a free-flowing
love
game.
that. I love
play
that.
from the back. He's got some interesting player. The guy Boga has
Yeah.
been
I
unbelievable.
think that guy's been rumored to
they're
go to
gonna
AC
verse,
Milan.
They're gonna verse
it?
Juventus the next. There's rumors, but they gotta cough up some money.
I think big players
sure.
are always going
But
to be rumored anywhere.
but this is a guy that's very very tricky, quick and fast. You have Berardi on the other side, so Ciccio Caputo.
Caputo,
they
the
got
striker.
different and De Frel. So interesting
Wait a
players,
moment,
players
Berardi
that play.
plays for Sassuolo.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
That's what he's been talking about.
And so even midfield, Locatelli.
We
You
gave
know.
up on him. I thought AC Milan still has some
so
ownership.
Juricic
on that.
over there.
Juricic.
He's
so
a
you got
beast
some
over there.
young guys, and then even Muldor, the right back.
Right back, yeah,
unbelievable.
he's a rock. He
And
goes
also
up and down.
Rogerio, I like a lot. The left back,
Left back.
Brazilian-esque player.
Sometimes
if he's
he
not
plays.
Brazilian. And
Kyriakopoulos usually plays the
Kyriakopoulos.
Greek left back.
but I like Rogerio more. I like that
He's more attacking. Yeah, he is more
Maicon,
attacking.
Roberto Carlos type
Yeah,
left
yeah,
back.
he
You
is more
need.
attacking.
You always need it.
There was speaking about transfer market and big players. Earlier this week, there was a bunch of articles released about Inter and the future. And obviously, these are a couple days old now. You know, Sky was saying that if Conte would leave, you know, Allegri could be a potential replacement for them. And a lot of the rumors were circulating around. A lot of the rumors were circulating around Conte's statement where he said, you know, where one person thinks, where the club, or where I think how far we are away from winning could be different. Basically saying that he's going to need more transfers in the summer. There was a list that was released of players that he wants Inter to sign. The list consisted of Alaba, Emerson Palmieri, Kante, Pogba, Vidal, Dzeko, and Gabriel Jesus.
Wow.
Obviously not saying all of those players.
I mean, we're talking about 7 so far, right?
Well, he would probably want...
Wow.
He'd probably want like 4 or 5 of those 7. He'd probably want 4 or 5 of those 7.
But you see, isn't that...
Kante was the big name that he was linked to because Kante, apparently, according to them, he's not really fitting under Lampard as much, and Conte loved him. They loved each other at Chelsea.
There must be something going on over there.
Yeah, but Kante, one of the best midfielders in all of Europe, in my opinion. He's probably one of the best defensive
an
midfielders.
engine.
I can never see how he leaves, how Chelsea let him go to Inter. But is this that you have an opinion on Kante?
Well,
Are you dreaming?
No. To tell you the truth, I like Barella more than Kante.
Oh, by
not to say why. I don't see why we have to spend more money on Kante, because
Good job.
I think besides just an engine, you need good feet with that engine. So I think this Inter team,
And
if they
brain too.
if
Barella's
they
got
want to
brain.
go ahead and play this free flowing style, a player like Barella, I think is unbelievable because he can. No, I'm serious. He can take.
I'll take Barella.
Why are you laughing?
He
I'll
can.
take Barella.
He can
I've
do
never
the
heard
dirt.
anybody want to reject Kante.
He can take the dirty work, and he can move, and he can also move the ball and pass the ball.
I get what you're saying. He's more creative.
Different players.
I rather get a Vidal, who's an up and down type of player.
But
That's
it's
not going to
washed
cost
out.
you as much.
Vidal is
That's not going to
washed
cost you
out.
as much money, and can score you some goals. That's
He's gonna
just
be
me.
sitting on the bench like Sanchez. Let me tell you about this 7 people demand from Conte. I'm starting to just get myself into the, my dream that Conte is starting to make that kind of the same kind of demand that he put on Juventus before he got his ass kicked. So he's starting to say, hey, if you guys don't give me this player, we're never going to win the Champions League because I have a bunch of losers. Now, you picture yourself, all of those players' position. And the player that right now they occupy that position of those players that the Conte is demanding. So all of those players, they feel themselves like, look, That's a bad reflection of me. That means he wants to get rid of me. Or he doesn't like my style of playing. Or he just, it's not telling me on my face, but at the same time, he's putting the demand. He's putting that kind of a request. No, that's what it is. That's what it is.
First off, the newspapers are always going to link you with your ex-players. That's what Mourinho had when he was coaching Inter. We were supposed to get Lampard. We were supposed to get all these guys that he's coached before. The idea is Inter, they need 4 signings. A left back, another midfielder, a second Lukaku, and another center back. Those 4 positions, Inter have what it takes to compete for the Scudetto and also go far in the Champions
We're
League.
about to say win.
But wait a
I
moment.
saw you stumbled
wait
on
a
your word
moment.
over
Wait
there.
a moment. Wait a moment.
I'll change it to win the Scudetto.
Myself.
There we go.
Am I going to pinch myself?
With
Guys,
those 4
listen to
and
me.
a second goalkeeper,
Listen to me. At the beginning
gonna
of
win.
the season, you were the
So 5 new players.
What
No.
else you need, P? I got
Wow.
we never said that we
At
were
the
the squad.
beginning of the season,
beginning
you were
of the
the team
season,
to win
we-
everything.
At the beginning of the season, Conte was asking for a second striker to Lukaku. That's
true.
And
Listen
we
to
did not
me.
get it. He wanted another midfielder,
Giroud,
Vidal,
Dzeko.
and we did not get it.
Get rid of that loser. He's a loser. Let me tell you something. That's a stupid thing to do.
Why is it stupid?
I will kick his ass right in front of everybody,
For
in
what?
front of 80,000 spectators.
For what?
Let me tell you something. This is a disgrace. You have nothing but the best player.
Where?
Sitting
Where's
on
the best
bench.
player? Who's the left back?
What are you talking about? Bastoni. You got
Bastoni's not a left back.
Skriniar.
Those are all defenders. Who's my left back?
Godin and who else?
Ashley Young.
Yeah.
Ashley Young is a fantastic player. He can't even play for Manchester United.
Manchester United is
That
not-
guy plays for the English national team.
Since
what are you
when?
talking
No, he
about?
10 years ago.
No, he doesn't.
Listen,
no, he doesn't.
listen,
Not anymore.
listen.
Antonio.
Tell him Ashley Young's the one who scored. his
D'Ambrosio
goal today.
is your right wing back. Candreva. These are not guys that are
All
going
of
to
a sudden,
change the game.
Candreva is not good anymore. He played in it. He played on the national team. He
When?
played for the national
When?
This
team.
guy's saying he plays on the national team. He's automatically 5-star.
Listen to me very
Junior
carefully.
national team.
Antonio.
You have to put the fruit of what you have. If Conte is the brain.
With what we have-
Imagine that this is Conte, okay? This brain here, it's this small. It doesn't have, it's not working. Look, it's flat. It's flat, it's not moving. Conte has got no brain. Conte is not capable. You can bring the best player in Inter. He's going to either sit them on the bench, make them depressed, and he's not capable to make them play. Bottom line is, don't blame the player. Conte is the main culprit of this whole fiasco that Inter has. No Champions
Where's
League.
the fiasco?
No Champions
Where's
League.
the fiasco?
Let me finish. No Champions League, no Campionato, and most likely you're going to be out of the UEFA, and no Coppa Italia.
Okay.
So 4 out of 4.
And where's this fiasco?
4 out of 4.
Was
So-
Inter expected to win the
What do you call
Champions
it?
League?
4 out of 4
Quadruple.
on a
Quadruple.
poker game.
Quadruple.
Poker.
You
Poker.
serve.
Yeah, it's poker.
You serve the poker, right?
Yeah, poker.
Okay, you serve the poker. You got 4 out of 4. Okay.
No one expected Inter to win Champions League?
Yes, you did.
No one expected Inter to win the Scudetto?
Yes, you did.
No.
Yes, you did.
How?
No, he didn't.
Everybody.
Who?
Everybody.
When anyone starts pointing, I'll admit to anything.
Wait a moment. They were going to win everything.
You're right. I
Who
agree
said
with
that? You were the
You
only
were
one that said that.
expected to win
And we
everything.
have it
Better
taped.
than Juventus
We
this
have
year.
we have tape.
You were crying. I said, "Oh, Inter's going to win everything."
you. The highest paid coach in Italy.
But listen,
We're going to go to the doctor after this. Okay?
Antonio.
We're going to go to the doctor.
listen.
We have
listen.
tape where I said,
Enough.
"What are you drinking?"
Enough.
When you said that.
Enough of asking excuses for Conte. Conte is the main culprit. The guy to go. Conte is a failure.
He's not a fan. It's one
And
season,
even
Antonio.
Marotta, because Marotta is the one that brought Conte over. This guy here is a crook. He let Icardi go. He let a lot of the best players go, or he got them
the
to
best
come to
player?
Inter. He sat them on the bench. Godin, he wants to leave. No, probably even Eriksen, I think he's going to want to go. What the hell are you doing all of those stupid moves? It's an embarrassment.
Anto, these positions were needed though,
Listen
from the
to me.
start of the
Listen to
beginning.
me.
They
When
knew
you
this.
bring in top player into your team and you're not using them to the best of their
One
ability-
player, Ericsson.
That's not true.
Who else?
What do you call Sanchez is not a top player?
No.
No, it's
He
not.
hasn't been a top
Wow,
player.
I'll take him. Give it to me.
I give them to you. Pay up.
Even with one leg, pay up. No, you got it for free. I got it for free too.
No, we got him on loan. That's the
Oh
difference.
no, you see. Listen.
Sanchez has not been a top player for the
Can you
past 5
just
years.
Just admit it that Conte is an idiot.
No.
That's it.
I'm
He's
gonna
not.
admit it. No.
Okay. Who agrees with me?
Start pointing. I agree with anything
Anto,
you
listen,
say.
it's one season.
All right,
One
guys.
season. How many freaking season you need?
2, 3.
Give me a break.
What do you mean?
There's
So if
4
he doesn't win
seasons in
the
a year.
second season,
No, at least 2, 3. For me, I usually
Mike.
want at least 3.
Mike, this is
Personally.
not kindergarten, Mike. Conte is
So
not a top coach.
What about Klopp?
Klopp? Klopp has been winning.
What did he
How
do
many-
the first
yeah.
couple of years?
Doesn't matter.
How doesn't it matter?
He's been on the top 3 all the
Yeah,
time.
so, but Klopp,
When?
they did not spend a lot of money at all.
Yeah.
he was
Maybe not as
high
much.
Paid.
Yeah,
they
maybe
didn't
not
buy
as
big
much.
players.
They're
The
not paying him 11 million
the
euro.
one time they signed the big player, they got Van Dijk. They won the Champions League, and then they went on to win the league.
Not that year.
I think they won the year.
Not that year.
They signed him in January, and I think they won in like that
I don't
same
think so.
year.
I
Or
think it was
okay,
the year before.
maybe his first full year.
But
he won.
regardless, you still need time.
Pete,
though.
the same
They
thing.
signed a lot
the
more
same
players.
But you
thing
still,
is
yeah, I
still
get it.
signed
But
a
you
lot
still
more
need
players.
time for it to happen.
They made
to
signings,
gel.
but they bought
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk. They bought Mohamed Salah,
Yeah.
Alisson.
Alisson. They spent big time for a goalkeeper, so they spend money
They got
to
three
be able to
players.
get what
But
they
how much
want.
money
No,
is
it was
that?
more
That's-
than
But they
like
also
close to
sold
200
Coutinho,
million.
who funded like
they
all
sold
of those.
Coutinho, they sold
$150 million.
Sterling.
$150 million. But wait, Pete, the same thing is valid for this other loser here. What did they do? They brought Ronaldo into Juventus, right? The main thing is that, we need a top player to win the Champions League. So far, this is the second year. You know, they're still in. You know, they're just, hanging on the thread over there. God only knows, in a thin air. But short of winning the Champions League for Juventus, it's going to be a major failure. Who are you going to blame? Ronaldo? I don't think so. Ronaldo has been playing. He's doing the best that he can. But the system that he's been forced to play into it's not a good system. Even though this guy here all of a sudden has changed his mind about Sarri, and he called it Sarri's game, Sarri's system, or whatever. Okay.
I said he'll be judged by the Champions League. And
Okay.
I
So
stick by
what
that.
happened if he doesn't win the championship? for Juventus?
I've said it many times.
So what would you do? Whose fault is that?
No, it's
Ronaldo's
not about
fault?
not winning the Champions League. It's the manner in which that you
You
bail out. of the
gotta win.
Champions League.
You
If
gotta
go
win. You
out to
spend all
Lyon,
that
there's a problem.
money. You brought the competition into your team. You have to just show me the results.
But you know, every team signs players, and not every team can win.
But listen to me. When you're talking about every team,
If you check how much
over
Juventus
here we're
spent
talking
compared
about
to some
Inter
of the
and
other
Juventus.
teams,
Those are the two of the top
Yeah.
teams. The way you
Yeah.
guys are,
So if both teams spend the same amount of money, who's supposed to win? Because according to you, whoever spends the most money wins.
well, you brought the top player. That's what you were saying.
But look at
That's that we need a
PSG.
top player.
PSG having
Forget about PSG.
past the quarterfinals,
Forget
and they get
about
Neymar,
PSG.
Mbappe, Cavani,
Forget about those.
Cardi.
We
Why
are
forget
in
about
Italy
that?
here. We're talking about Ronaldo.
I know, but
we're
it's the
talking
same
about
case,
Dybala.
though.
We're talking about
One thing about the Ronaldo that makes me laugh, and I know people say, "Oh wow, it's a failure. You didn't win.
a campionato doesn't
One
mean
second.
anything anymore, Marco.
To you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to a lot
you.
of people too.
To you. Okay, losers. That's fine. There's many losers in
No,
this world that
continue,
don't care.
continue.
It's
Yeah.
fine. They say that, oh, you didn't win the Champions League, so it's a failure with Ronaldo. Number one, and we'll just stick on the pitch because outside of the pitch, I'd have too much ammo to beat you with on this argument. But on the pitch,
Wow.
on
I gotta get a bulletproof jacket.
on the pitch, this is how Juventus maintain their dominance. You've never seen a team in Italy win 9 times in a row. And I know everybody likes to say, oh, wow, it's a failure to win Champions League. Guess what? Everybody talks, oh, look, you get these moments that you win at the end. You've got this mentality. You know why? It's because you sign great players and you make a force that's won 8 times, could be 9 in a row. So if that's your failure, then no problem.
And if
No
you didn't have
problem.
Ronaldo, they'd be in third place probably right
If
now.
Juventus did not have Ronaldo, they would not be winning this.
They wouldn't
this
even be
league.
in the Scudetto contention. I don't even think so. You've done so
You
much.
should be ashamed of yourself. First of all,
And you know what the problem
uh,
is? It's teams that get complacent that they win a couple years
Can
and then
you
they
see-
think that they've made it.
can you see this? If this is a horse race, okay, you're supposed to start on the same line, right? This is where Juventus starts.
Okay,
Okay.
let's pull this one back.
No, this is where Juventus starts.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
But in 2006, we were in Serie B, so Juventus started all the way over there.
Forget about it. 2006. That's the question.
Why?
We don't like the facts.
Right
okay,
now.
okay, hold on. I'll give you a second date.
Go ahead.
In 2009, 2010, when Inter was winning the treble the year before, Juventus were 7th place. They finished 7th place twice in a row. So we started back while they were in the treble.
Yeah, but it was a
Who's won
different-
more leagues?
hold on.
No, but
That's a
I'm just saying,
different
according to you, if
We're
you
opening
start
a
ahead,
can of
you're saying start
worms.
ahead right now. How come you're putting back 10 years?
Back then, the
past
financial
decade?
fair play did not exist. The financial fair
So
play.
they should have been higher.
The financial
so they should
fair
have been
play
higher.
It's something that
So they should have
recently
been
started
higher. So they should have been higher. It's even harder to
Listen,
achieve
nobody
that.
can outspend Agnelli. Come on, just don't sell me that BS. This is Juventus before even the race starts, and this is what everybody else, trying to catch up. What are you gonna do? Oh, here's another one. This is Inter, right here, and then it's everybody else.
Don't scratch
But you
the
gotta
table.
respect the project too that they built.
What project? Money talks, Mike.
But
Give me the
Anto-
money. I'll show you my project.
Anto, Juve is the
Give me
only
the money.
team that's won
We've
so
sent you,
much.
we've sent you many
Mike,
times
such
how
a
much
long
Milan have
time.
Mike,
spent.
in Greece, when you have to build a house,
We're bringing the house back.
Let's say we are in Santorini. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say we are in Santorini, right?
Yeah.
So, if I am by the ocean and I want to build
crazy.
a big freaking mansion,
Yeah.
do you think I'm gonna get
When I brought a house up, you said it was a bad argument. Now you're taking the house argument.
Wait a moment.
Just saying.
In Santorini,
Yes.
the best real estate is where? By the ocean. Or just on the top of the cliff over there, just overlooking the
Yes.
ocean, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Wherever
So,
you didn't pee on the white
If
walls.
listen to me. This is Santorini, right?
Yeah.
Then this is the house that Juventus built right there, right on top
Yeah.
of the cliff. And this is where AC Milan and everybody else is. So they got trees, they got landscape, they got everything in front of them. How the hell are you going to compete with somebody like that?
But Anto,
you didn't even see the sun coming out.
I get what you're
Forget
saying.
about
All right, let's move on. You're right. You're
but,
right.
But you
Anto.
gotta respect
You're right,
what
Anto.
they've done to build up to there, from being in second division
All right.
to building,
Yo,
having
guys,
a project.
we're-
That's what Ender's
we're
trying
ending,
to do
We're
right
in this
now,
conversation. We're going to the extended audio only version. So head on over Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Google Play.
Google Play, iTunes.
Anywhere you listen to podcasts.